Okay, I have been asked to come on and channel a little video for anyone that might need a little confirmational message. It's been coming through quite strongly this afternoon, so I'm hopping on reluctantly, but I am being asked to read, so I'll just see what comes out. Just rooting ourselves in love and peace and protection for all the funny times that we all live in right now. And for those who consider themselves part of the truther crew, we might be feeling some aches and pains of all kinds at the minute. So little bit of cleansing in the system, a little bit of grounding, and connect with nature, because that always brings us back to ourselves. So just going to clear the space for everybody. These readings purely act as a confirmation. It's just a edutainment sort of value, a little bit of fun between us to lift up any darker days, anything that might be ruminating in your head at the minute, anything that's not fully clear, because sometimes us overthinkers, us sensitives, can get in our head a bit. So that's nice. So what's coming out first? So I work with different decks. These are my earth cards. So the first one I saw that came out, number 26, be true to your heart. A beautiful golden card full of peacock feathers and wonderment and luscious blossoming flowers as we move into spring. And the second card, because I think I'll talk about them together, is intuition. So as I was mentioning about the truthers, or anyone who might feel compelled to really live in their full sovereignty, full authenticity at the minute. You know, I know it's a buzzword or a keyword, but however anyone interprets that word, it is just us being true to our heart, true to ourselves. We can't live for anybody else. We can't make decisions for anybody else. We have to be on this path. Some of us might consider ourselves lone wolves. Even though we have loving connections and dip in and out of relationships, but ultimately, if we're sensitives, it is important for us to come back to ourselves. It is really important that we spend time alone, and it's something that I've mentioned through my videos, and people might be tired about it or not, but really it's just a beautiful piece of learning that I've developed over the past couple of years. And I trust that as more of us do this, you know, in our daily lives, make time for those moments of silence, and healthy silence. I don't mean escapist, hedonistic, sort of be by yourself. I mean fully be in the emotions of now, by honouring what is in our heart at the minute, you know, because that brings us back to our light. That brings us back to our God self, however we interpret the word God. You know, we are all made of stardust. We are all divinity. And so now she's got this beautiful radiant diamond in her hand that is just shining and glistening, because she is being led by the heart space, by the heart centre, and nothing really can go wrong, even though, you know, I don't believe in right and wrong, if we follow the heart space. 26, 36, moving up to intuition, you know, when we're guided by higher self, when we're guided by those first initial reactions around any challenge, encounter, relationship, response from someone else, once we start to harness the true power of our intuition, our inner knowing, because we've done it all before, we can start the gradual incline to our best self, our top self, the highest timeline. You know, 26 to 36, that's 10, that's a big movement and shift upwards to higher self. And the last card that came out was beautiful again, very timely and very synced with spring. Renewal of peace, number 13, divine feminine. A beautiful baby cuddled up with a tree, which was like me earlier in the park today. with all the woodland creatures moving towards her because she is at peace. She's on a frequency of relaxation and groundedness, and so that allows for goodness and for nature and for other energies that don't speak the human tongue to approach us and to come near us and come towards us. So there might be some special relationships with animals that now might be emerging. Telepathy growing strong also between, you might be hearing things from animals, so if that seems weird to you, cool. If you're happy to go with it, flow with it. I can only speak as somebody who's experiencing it now and is in the flow of opening up those communication channels with other energies that are not of the human form. So Morocco is coming up really strongly. I have my desert rose here, so I don't know who that's for. And as I said before, Africa or various places might repeatedly come through some of the readings that I do, but there is an important message. It might just be about root chakra. Because whenever I work with the desert rose, I always connect with my root chakra. For me, it's a very, very grounded sort of desert, warm, solitary energy, and that is what I feel when we connect with the root. So anyway, without over talking, we'll move. Right, I'm just going to put those back because I need to just make sure that we're working in the best intention of anybody who needs any confirmations for life, for love, for career, for movement, for direction. We're just going to take 3 cards. Something's there's a lot of movement at the minute, a lot of whirlwinds. Let's see if we can take just 3 cards. Yeah, lovely. One's coming out strong. I see take a break, which is interesting because they all flew out at the start when we're talking about overthinking. There's the other 2. Great. Well, if anybody saw the last reading that I did, it's interesting because the same card has come up twice. So take a break. I started the reading off 747 by talking about overthinking, overanalyzing. Sometimes it says a life's work, not a season, get off the treadmill. You know, whether we need to immerse ourselves in water or bathe under the moon. A lot of women are doing a lot of moon work. Well, I say women, a lot of men are working with divine feminine and moon magic at the minute as well. Whether you choose to opt into magic or just connect with however the energy flows over you when the moon's out, as long as it's loving intention and we're minding our own business and not getting involved in other people's business, then bask in that energy because it is clear, it's relaxing, it's cleansing, it's restoring the yin, the feminine energy inside of our vessels, and that is always like rebalancing that yin yang internal seesaw. It might look like it's becoming the central card to the reading at this point, but again, answer the call. It's coming out across the collective, my collective at the minute, as somebody who is, I am following the call, I am trusting. However difficult it is, there is no resistance, but there might be feelings of frustration or challenge or lack of understanding, because when you get the call, when we get the call, everything is revealed to us when it needs to be revealed to us and not a minute before then. So sometimes we are left in the dark, and that darkness can be quite confusing and isolating and lonely and painful at times. However, if messages from higher realms or whoever we connect with have come to this point and led us to this point now where we're safe, happy, internally at peace, regardless of what our lives or our movements or actions look like to the external realm, if we find that inner peace and can overcome the challenges that we've been presented, we just need to be strong in the knowing that we are answering the call, and the next steps will reveal themselves when it is necessary, and that is not for us to make that choice. However much we want to make that choice, it is not necessarily for us to make that choice. And then the last one, again, I think there's a lot of parental wounds being mended across the collective. The star mother, like Mama Gaia, Mother Earth, Mother Ocean, the mother, the maiden mother, crone mother archetype is coming up a lot at the minute. A lot of children being born right now from a jiggy jiggy summer 2023. And how can we mother ourselves better? Mary Magdalene and Roses might be some energies that come through to you. Again, moon magic as well, but I think there is an important recalibration happening now with the energies that are leaving this earth and those that are arriving. And if we believe in this hyper energy well, I was going to say rebalance, but it's never happened before in the ways that it's happening now. So I think it's just important that we know how to hold ourselves, know how to reparent, to self-soothe, to forgive anyone that we need to forgive, because ultimately we're only bearing their burden of an external energy if we harbour any kind of grudge or anything towards other people. It's okay, we don't have to do that immediately, we don't have to maintain those relationships, but we do need to let go of the power one might believe that somebody else external to us has over us, because that's just not possible. Nobody external to us has power over us, because this is our reality. We are the creators of our reality, and so it is only our mind, you know, all is the mind, the universe is mentalism. So it's realigning any negative thoughts in our mind to a more peaceful, you know, we've already found this renewal of peace. There's a lot of us that are coming into our peace and our power right now, and despite the external energies, which will be more chaotic, you know. And when people say about the truthers that are talking about, oh, you're so negative, it's just we who believe we have eyes to see right now, we are not oblivious to the chaos that might come our way. That's why it's important for us, for the individual self, to be able to be resilient and adaptable through the times that we're living in right now, because we are the only ones that are going to give ourselves peace. We might find ourselves in new scenarios, new circumstances, new relationships at the minute that present challenges and present new energies we're not used to, because also people are confronting themselves at depths that they've not been to before, which will evoke it will present different sides of people that we've never seen before. And it's not negative or positive. Everybody has to go through this to then level up. So it might not look pretty at the moment, but we can't take anything personally. We have to allow people to do their personal work, because ultimately, well, I say this is my lived experiences, like the readings that I do from a lone wolf perspective. You know, I've been very independent since I left the house at 17, 18 and went to uni. And when you live on your own, or you move through a lot of life experiences by yourself, this is not comparing it to anybody else or better or not, it's just getting comfortable at knowing ourselves in all environments and putting ourselves into situations that are not always desirable or comfortable, because it's the name of the game. Like, this is what we do when we level up. This is how we unlock the codes and the keys to the next levels, because we're not continually relying or waiting on the word of another, on the confirmation of another. And it's quite ironic because I'm doing a reading for other people to get confirmation, but this is a bit of fun. Like, ultimately this is all self-taught, you know. I believe all of us have the power and the skill to tap into higher guidance, higher self, and so I'm only someone that's just been asked to channel or read as a messenger, however we interpret that, but to share my love, to spread my love, because that is all I'm here to do, and to share a journey that's been, you know, quite beautiful and brutal at the same time, because that's life, with the people, because we're all on this journey together, and there are many of us that can't, you know, afford personal sessions with readers or sound baths that, you know, people are paying excessive amounts at the minute, £66 an hour. And if people have got the money, great. If other people who are trying to decide what to do this week in terms of looking after their children or food, you know, I just want to be here as a support system. And that's why people that I encounter will sometimes have the sound bath with me in the toilet at a club, because I've got the bowl on my back, and it's just, that's just how things are working right now. And this is not to toot my own trumpet, but I see how people are moving, how the healers are moving at the minute, how many of us who are feeling empowered because we've done grueling, gruesome work, shadow work for a couple of years, and how we can now turn that pain into the love that we continue to share with ourselves first, and then with other people, because we need to maintain our vibration. And so, without making this a storytelling narrative, we'll just get a couple more cards. If there's any more messages for anyone about maybe answering the personal call, any guidance from the there's too many, from deity or anybody that you might connect with. If we have any messages, yeah, really interesting. I think similar to, so there's very similar themes that came up in the last read to this read. Nope, too many. Oh, there's a lot of energy. I just want one more. Similar energies in the last collective read that I did to this one. And if anyone didn't watch that last one, doesn't matter, they're not joined, but we have answer the call central to the reading at the minute, and then we've got loss, lack and fear and victimization. So they're just really collective energies that are going through, or the people that are watching my channel, like that is the energy that is among us at the minute. Loss, lack and victimization, because we know what's going on in our personal lives and around us. There are a lot of relationship breakdowns, there are a lot of revelations, there are a lot of fears that people are, well, they're claiming, which we shouldn't, because it doesn't really exist, because ultimately we have the capability to overcome anything that comes our way, because if we believe in a higher power or God or the Most High, however we define that, we're not put on this earth to die. The challenges that are given to us, like, we have every available resource to us to overcome the obstacles in order to fulfill the mission and the calling. Like, we are equipped with that. It's like Tomb Raider, you know, you've got a certain belt and you've got your ammunition, because you know, like, they have given us the resources that we have: mind, body, soul, heart, brain, guts, whatever, womb, you know, we've got incredible knowledge inside the body. And so, like, talking about the heart, it's interesting, we've got loss, lack and fear and victimization, and then we have number 27, number 9 card. So it's that teetering before new beginnings of 10, like number 9, 369. Healing the heart, the power of self-love. Ultimately, we were mentioning that before, is that love is the only vibration that is going to move us through this new strange phase, this, whether we believe in the solar flares that's coming, whether we believe there's a hole in the sun that's cut, like, whatever we feel, is there is an energetic shift in the planet. And for those that can't feel it, that's okay. I'm not talking to you, or maybe I'm talking to you because you need support in understanding that something is really happening. Something big is really, really happening. And I say that I get emotional, but I don't want to be a weepy willow today, because it is, there's something huge coming. And when we say this, we are sharing from a place of love. So this is a lot of excitement as well. That's a lot of cards are coming out. There's overthinking, there's a lot of chaos, there's a lot of excitement, there's a lot of agitation, there's a lot of movement, the shifts and changes. And that's why it's important that we renew the peace at the minute, because we want to be making decisions for ourselves from a place of calm, from the heart space, you know, power of self-love, healing of the heart. That is the only place where we can learn to mother ourselves and give forgiveness to those who need, and to not allow the loss and the lack or the fear, victimization, to engulf us, because it's not welcome in this vibration when we know ourselves. It's not welcome in the world that we're inviting into. Yes, things might have to get worse before they get better. They might have to crumble before we see the bounty, but we are given every tool and resource that we need to overcome all the obstacles on our personal mission in order to be in divine alignment, in order to move to our highest timeline. Because once we do that, 47, and the beautiful tiger energy, the river of blessings, releasing constraints. You know, once we root ourselves, whether it's at root chakra, whether it's in our heart space, it's knowing ourselves and coming back to the body. I am a tactile person. I do a lot of body work. I love to massage. I love to self-massage. And I've got some funny messages coming through. I can't be bothered to talk about that because it's going to shift the energy of the reading. But people will see me do this a lot. I have a big heart, so sometimes when I feel pain very deeply that's going on in the globe, or anything to do with, if I see anyone doing anything to animals or anything, well, one, I just wouldn't watch. I'd have to step in. But I feel the pain globally of things, and so I've just learned that is going to be part of my journey, is that I do have to go to nature and have to cry in the trees for 3 hours and have a whole load of ducks come up to me just to stand with me while I'm crying, you know. This is my life now, so I'm not going to shy away from that, because this having come up in the reading, again, these are just messages for me as well as whoever resonates, or it's just a bit of fun, someone can have a laugh, you know. Once we do the healing of the heart and we release the constraints, the river of blessings is there. It's, you know, it's in sight, it's within reach. And we have the power to tap into that, you know, divine feminine, that yin, that water element, if we are hydrating. And, you know, we are, a lot of us readers, or a lot of us people that just love this kind of work, self-empowerment, spiritual soul work. Yeah, there's a lot of this is breaking free is just flown out, and that is like releasing victimization, releasing constraints, letting go. Central card, I'll show you those in one set. I just want one more to finish the read, to finish this first set of cards. But and water is highly healing, you know, whether we're swimming, whether we're drinking water, hydrating, whether we're steaming in the sauna, you know. And I say all this as not a medical practitioner, just things that I do to self-soothe. You know, we are breaking free from, sorry, I can see the reflection, but yeah, we're breaking free from anything that has dirty tentacles or sticky arms on us. We're letting go, and that's just naturally going to happen at the end of a season. You know, we are coming into spring in the northern hemisphere, like we are coming out of the darkness. A lot of us have been doing the work, or the hermiting, or the conscious spiritual observation, self-observation, self-awareness over the past couple of months. because this energy has knocked us all into that. We've been doing the healing, whether that's been in isolation or whether we've needed people around us to do that, whether it's yoga classes or circles or, you know, dance. People have also been gathering, women in circles, you know, men sharing together as well. We've all been coming together to heal, and that's a beautiful energy to tap into. You know, that is part of the healing of the nations. We are here, obviously, as an individual. I consider myself a lone wolf. You know, I like my wolf pack, my wolf gang, but like, ultimately our life is to be experienced by us. It's beautiful to have witnesses, but we are the only ones that are going to be our best friends until the day that we no longer exist on the physical plane. And coming to terms with that and not needing any form of external validation, or not needing to share everything all the time. And people say, oh, you know, she's sharing the videos online all the time. 10-minute and 2-minute videos, whether it's every day or every other day, is not my life. So, you know, it's striking the balance between sharing as support, or sharing to need validation from other people, to need acceptance, to need to prove something. That era is gone. We are in the age of knowing. All of us are just rooting ourselves in any form of, some might say, skill or offering or energy or love vibration that we want to share with our people. Some people's missions are not for the people, but the individual work is always going to be part of the collective healing, the healing of the nations, because we are a global consciousness. So I think there's like clear themes. And again, it's funny because that was, when did I do the last read? My first read on here was maybe 2-3 weeks ago. So 3 weeks away from that, we're sort of coming into a more clear space of breaking free from any of the constraints and letting go and healing. But that loss and lack and victimization, and also connected to answering the call. You know, a lot of us are making huge shifts right now, and so it will feel like there's something leaving us. But when we drop weight, we become lighter. We can close doors and open new windows and have new opportunities come our way. And as little doggies, here to help us of the to help remind us of the external noise that we sometimes need to tap out of. I just want to see if there's any messages from the plant realm, or any plants that might help us. Some of us might connect with tea. Okay. Okay, the first card that came out, well, it's interesting. It's echinacea, which people possibly have been having this season anyway because of colds and flus, and I'm very sensitive. I've been in different, I'm nomading at the minute, so being in different spaces, I'm quite sensitive, so I can get sometimes sniffy, different dust, different various things. But Destiny, number 30, the snake eating its own tail as well. So this is a card of, sorry if it's not clear, because I don't really want to, well, let's see if it will hold. Or if it's coming up backwards, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, we're talking about yin and yang earlier. You can see the sun and the moon here on the card, and that balance, and the snake eating its own tail in the middle. Echinacea is great for usually sniffles and winter bugs and stuff, vitamin C. But I was also going to say, I would only usually take one of them, but 3 have come out. And it's like the last reading, it's skull cap, stillness. So as a collective, we are needing to let go of that sort of like hard exterior shell, that hard, stubborn way, one-way view of looking at things, because everything's going to change. And if we are closed-minded in our approach to what's coming, we are going to lower our vibration, and we won't be able to ascend to where we need to go to realise that the call, the dreams, the manifestations that we might have been working on. So skull caps come up. So echinacea, skull cap, and final fave, hibiscus, joy. Again, another one full of beautiful vitamin C. Hibiscus, red plant with a beautiful hummingbird. You know, divinity is all around us. We all have wings. We all have the capability and the capacity to fly in our own way once we start to do all of this shadow work and this healing work, because we're lighter. Like, the darkness doesn't have a hold over us. It's been integrated, and we observe it, and we can flow to higher dimensions because we appreciate, love ourselves more, because we see the value in the decisions that we've made. 333 on the clock. We see the value in the sacrifices and the decisions that we've made on the path when we've accepted the calling. That will look different for all of us, but you know, it is time to step to desire, to want to be better and do better, and to feel like we are worth more and deserve more, and we're not going to settle for the pain and the suffering that is present in Babylon. Just want to connect with any animal guides. Interesting. Wow, okay. So buffalo came out, but with a couple of cards behind it, but still that is irrelevant, because that is a full-on determination. That is just like, you know, I'm a Taurus ox, and so when you're connecting with the buffalo, some people might be connecting with Zeus energy or some of the ancients at the minute, because there's, for me, there's the thunder in the air, a thunder in the background there, and the determination and, you know, focus on our vision and goals is really the only thing that's going to get us there, without side-eyeing like other things, other people's business, other people's stuff, other people's journey, because we're not on a comparative journey. We're only on this journey in ourselves. Like, when we compete with no one, like, we win. There is no one else to compete with other than being a better version of ourselves than we were yesterday. And then, but two beautiful energies again. Water's coming up a lot. Like the last card instead of the mermaid deck is healing in the water. We've got dolphin, we've got whale. So we've got new, like kind of like a really young, playful, beautiful, like dolphin energy is so beautiful to be around if you consider that your power animal, or you want to connect with that energy more, because it's very, very playful and deeply healing. Again, connected to frequencies. It might be important for you to look at some frequency music if you're thinking of that already at the minute, because we know how these underwater beauties communicate with each other. And then we have the ancient, you know, whales. How long have they been on this planet, and how in awe do we look at them when we see them move through the water, or when they finally emerge, for people that have been whale watching or whatever. That could be someone's special trip at the minute, I don't know, but water. That's what I'm going to say. Swimming, there's something connected to the water world, the water element. Water World, Kevin Costner. I don't know if anybody watched that. It was one of my favourite films back in the day. Well, Fifth Element, #1, but and the soundtrack to that by Eric Serra. But Water World, yeah. So I don't know if someone's just watched that. We've just come out of it's February, but come out of the weirdo Christmas time, where seasonal festive time, where people you know, we watch a lot of like old school films that we've watched as a kid. interesting, behind the dolphin, I've just seen the shark as well. So it is important to maintain the play and the fun and the love. Obviously not in any kind of fake pretense where we can't maintain that vibration every day all the time, because that's not normal. We can aim for it, but we also will feel, especially if we're empaths and we're doing the work, which is sometimes the work we transmute energy for other people. It might be heavy, might not be what we've asked for, but we accept the calling. So without wanting to cry, just be mindful that behind the dolphin there was sharks. So, you know, there are people out for the young, playful, the young ones. The young ones is coming up a lot at the minute. I think it's Rick Astley, isn't it? Is it Rick Astley's name? Drop Dead Fred. There's a lot of old energy. I don't know if people believe in past lives and things like that, because obviously I'm end of life doula, but I do connect with the other side sometimes. So there is a lot of energy, these older souls at the minute. Like, some of them will be reincarnating. I don't know who this message is for. They will be reincarnating and coming back because they want to help the healing the nations. So whether people think I'm weird or whatever for this, but there is a huge surge in the power on the other side, the angelic forces, who want to come into reincarnated souls in this life to support the healing of the nations and to push through more light, because they have seen, because obviously when we pass we see our lives, and for those that may have only come into an awakening later on in life and then transitioned and not had a chance to share their love in ways that they've wanted, or to share their wisdom and knowledge, they will be birthed through the new ages and the new generations right now, because they're on a different frequency. Right, so it's really important that we also make sure it's our duty to, wherever we can, believe, is to protect the children, to protect the future generations, because, you know, what we're going to do without the kids. You know, the children are special right now, and they'll be feeling, yeah, I know if I'm feeling things today in the ways that I am, and it must be, oh, I'm gonna cry. It must be very overwhelming for children right now. So for any parent, like, I don't know whether children, people will call it acting up or whatever, but they might be more emotional, or more, because this energy is it's not normal. I mean, I know we don't believe in that word normal, but 3707, it is it's something. So as an adult, and I can communicate with these words after a lived experience of, you know, trying to learn about the masculine and the feminine energy. Just sharing a bit of spring love with you. A lifetime of learning, you know, how to express emotions and be myself with words. You know, there might be young minds that might not have the capability, the knowledge of how to do that. And it's important as guardians, as protectors of the realm. Yeah, this is coming through quite strongly right now because I'm getting upset. Is to look after the children and to support where we can, because we saw behind the dolphins, the sharks, you know, there's a lot of things lurking in the shadows that want to take advantage of vulnerable souls, small or big, in the physical, you know, small people, big people, I mean children and adults. And that's why it's really important that we forgive and we learn to lean into our heart, because the more healing that we do as adults consciously, because we've had our lived experiences and we've gotten we've been confronted with more darkness than they have, in a sort of physical world, physical realm sense. We're transmuting that for them so that they're safer and that they don't have to deal with what we've had to deal with. I mean, spiritually, they'll be very gifted. They'll be using their gifts in a much more enhanced way than we have. But yeah, please look after the children. So on that note, connect with nature more all the time. May have resonated with people, it may have not, this reading, but I'm just putting it out there for a bit of a fun. It's been a really weird day and just wanted to share my love. So yeah, enjoy yourselves, full joy, life. Don't take anything for granted, and you know, smile at people who might need to feel like they matter and that they're valued in this strange world.